Everyone, it's Sean Duhamel from the Mass Retirees Association. Now, we didn't plan another update in video in 2024, but we know that our members are anxious for information on HR 82 and when it's going to become law or when it's going to be implemented and all those sorts of things. So we wanted to provide an update based on what we know, which is some very good news. We wanted to get it to you before the holiday to end 2024 on a great note and start 2025 on even a better note. So here's what we know. Let's start with the really good news. The White House has announced that President Biden will be signing HR 82 into law this coming Monday at a White House ceremony. So that's Monday, January 6th. HR 82 is scheduled to be signed into law. Now, the reason for the delay is a couple of things. First of all, the president did not receive HR 82 on his desk until this past Friday. 6 p.m. on Friday evening, the legislation was finally sent to the White House. Secondly, we're going through a holiday period. Christmas and Hanukkah. New Year's Eve is happening right now as I'm recording this. Logistically, it's not a good time of year to get everyone together to have a bill signing. So after 41 years of collectively around the country fighting for this day, we can wait a few more days to do it right, have a ceremony at the White House. The bill will become law. As soon as that happens, we will update all of you. That is a done deal, because I know how much this means to those of you who are impacted by WEP and GPO. In some cases, you have been waiting for this for years, and we're going to get you that news as soon as we possibly can. Now, in terms of implementation, we're going to need to be patient. Remember, there are 3 million public retirees or retirees around the country. We have postal retirees and some railroad workers and others who are also impacted by WEP and GPO. All of the Social Security benefits for these 3 million retirees need to be individually recalculated, so the correct amount is paid to you going forward. And understandably, that's going to take a little bit of time to get there. We're hoping that it happens sooner rather than later, but we're going to get there. The important thing is that on Monday, WEP and GPO are no more. We don't have to worry about it, and the day will come where you're going to get what is actually owed to you and due to you going forward. Now, in terms of the effective date, and again, Social Security has not released any specific information. They will not do so until after HR 82 becomes law, and that's understandable. Same thing would apply here in Massachusetts. Until a bill is law, public agencies are not going to comment on it. And those of you who work in these agencies, you know and you understand the process and how this works. But our read of HR 82, and if we're correct, then the effective date of the law will be January 1st of 2024, so a year ago. If that holds true, those of you who will receive an updated Social Security benefit will also most likely receive a retroactive check from Social Security going back to January 1st of 2024. But again, this has not been confirmed. And until it is by the Social Security Administration, it's just us speculating. We're making an educated guess based on our expertise and our experience and our read of the legislation. But until it's an official word from Social Security, then do not count on anything. But hopefully that's true, and that will be a very nice thing for our members who have waited a very long time and have given up a lot over the years, this money that's been taken from you, and we want to get it back to you as quickly and as fully as we possibly can. Now, beyond that, there's been online speculation about changes in Social Security eligibility or mandatory Social Security, so let me address some of those rumors. None of them are true. All HR 82 changes is repealing WEP and GPO, the two federal offset laws. It does not change Social Security eligibility. It does not change who is paying into Social Security versus not paying into Social Security. It doesn't change the FICA payroll tax. None of that changes. Only the fact that WEP and GPO have been or will be repealed come Monday, that's all that changes. So if you're eligible for Social Security now, you'll be eligible again next week. If you're not eligible for Social Security now, then you will not be eligible next week unless your circumstances change. In order to be eligible for Social Security, you must have a minimum of 40 quarters, that's 10 years of service of paying into Social Security, and you also have to be a minimum of 62 years of age. If you're under 62, you do not qualify for Social Security retirement under any circumstances. And again, that is not changing due to H.R. 82. The other way you can qualify for Social Security in some cases is through your spouse. The minimum requirement to be eligible for a spousal Social Security benefit, and the spousal benefits, remember, are the benefit that was impacted by the government pension offset law, the GPO. In order to qualify for a spousal benefit, you must have been married to someone for a minimum of 10 years who qualifies for Social Security. So it doesn't matter if it's a current spouse or former spouse. If you were married to them for 10 years and if they qualify for Social Security, then you might also qualify for Social Security if you meet the criteria. Now, right now, there's nothing that any of you need to do until you hear differently, either from us or from the Social Security Administration. Sit tight. Do not call them. Do not show up at an office. As of today, again, there's nothing for them to implement. There's nothing for them to do because H.R. 82 is not yet a law. Once the president signs the bill on Monday, it becomes law. Social Security will begin to work on it. But even at that point, sit tight. There's nothing that any of you need to do at this time. Now, our hope and belief is that due to the record keeping that Social Security has, they already know who you are. They know that you were reduced by the WEP or reduced by the GPO or had your benefit eliminated altogether by the GPO, and they're simply going to go into their records, identify who they have on record that's been harmed by these two laws, and fix it. We will let you know if anything changes in that regard, and if there's a need for you to fill out paperwork or contact Social Security, we'll let you know. But in the meantime, sit tight. Now, this is a wonderful way to end 2024. I am thrilled by the fact that we get to make this announcement that not only did these laws pass the House and pass the Senate, but it will be signed into law next week by President Biden. And that is, again, the best possible way to end a year, is by bringing that type of fantastic news to our members. However, our work really is never done. Here in Massachusetts, we have a lot on our plate going into 2025. And while this is going to be a wonderful way to start the new year and it really gets things off on the right foot, we have a lot to work on. The COLA Commission, which is extremely important. And the hope there is to improve and reform the cost of living adjustment here in Massachusetts. And our association president, Frank Valeri, is our designee on the COLA Commission. That commission's already up and running. We also have a special task force on post-retirement work that our association treasurer, Joe Connerton, is serving on. That commission is about to get up and running. And then we have our day-to-day ongoing work when it comes to retiree and public employee health insurance. And you know that we have been spending a lot more time and effort focused on those issues. Healthcare affordability is a major concern of our association. We're going to have a lot of things to say on those topics in just the weeks ahead. Now, look to our weekly updates that come out every Friday morning for ongoing news. Look to The Voice, our association newsletter, for additional information. We have our area meetings coming up. I cannot wait to see all of you in Tewksbury in just a couple of weeks and be able to finally say that WEP and GPO are no more. I've been waiting for that moment now for 30 years. And it's going to be wonderful to be able to see you in person and deliver that news to you in person. And then we'll look forward to having our area meetings throughout Massachusetts throughout 2025. Now, if you're watching this video, reading the post on our social media pages, or if you received today's email message and you're not a member of Mass Retirees, please consider joining. The reason why we are able to be successful on behalf of all of you is because of the strength of our association, the strength of our membership, and the collective efforts of Us here at Mass Retirees, working with our public employee union partners here in Massachusetts, as well as other organizations around the country. The repeal of WEP and GPO didn't happen in a vacuum. They didn't happen by accident. They happened because of the work that we have all been doing on these things for a very long time. Same thing applies here in Massachusetts. The cost of living adjustment, the fact that you have some of the best and most affordable health care that's available anywhere. Just the pension benefits that you can rely on and trust to be there for you in your retirement. None of this happens by accident. All of these things, particularly here in Massachusetts, are due to the work of Mass Retirees and our partners over the past 56 years. Our association was founded in 1968 for the sole purpose of guaranteeing that public retirees in Massachusetts would never be forgotten and that you would always have a voice and a seat at the table. And over the past 56 years, myself and our team here at Mass Retirees and those who came before us, I believe have done a very good job on behalf of our membership, but our work is not done. As I said a moment ago, we have a lot of things ahead of us, a lot of work to do. The only way we're able to do this is by having a robust and engaged membership. So if you're not a member, please consider joining. You can find us online at massretirees.com. The links to join are on our Facebook page as well as in today's email blast. Annual dues are only $42 a year. Now, I know that retirees are living on a fixed income. We keep our membership dues as low as we possibly can to cover our overhead. But when you think about what's at stake, when you think about what we have just gained in terms of the repeal of WEP and GPO and what that will mean to those of you who are impacted by that, the WEP reduction alone means about $400 a month to our members. In some cases more, in some cases less. On the GPO side, if you are a retiree who have had your entire spousal benefit wiped out by the GPO, you could be looking at more than $1,000 a month extra. Now, it's going to vary by person, but we're talking about real money. And when you look at it in the context of $42 a year versus what we have been able to achieve through the strength of our association, I believe it speaks for itself. So please consider joining. For those of you who are already members, thank you so much for being a member of our association. Thank you for being there for us and coming to our meetings and the outpouring of support and the messages that I've received and the rest of our team have received just over the past week or so have really been humbling. So I can't tell you how much that means to all of us. We look forward to seeing you throughout the year. And again, we will report back on Monday. As soon as we get word that the president has signed the bill into law, we will let all of you know. In the meantime, I hope you have all had a very happy holiday season. Happy New Year to you and your family. Here's to a happy, healthy, and prosperous 2025 for us all. Be well, everybody. Bye-bye.